Okay.
So-
And with that, we head into the outfield position.
They call him D-Whack.
So yeah, I mean this outfield
Tap that ass
battle.
water.
I mean, oh my god. So this outfield battle. I mean, after Gavin Lux went down, and you look at the infield, it's pretty much sewn up. I mean, Miguel Vargas has the runway. Miguel Rojas is going to be at shortstop. Freddie, of course, at first. Muncy at the hot corner. But the center field position is wide open. And Trayce Thompson, really kind of the incumbent at this point. He's the guy that started all 4 NLDS games for the Dodgers. We've talked extensively about his reverse splits. He's gotten off to a slow start this spring. Doesn't look like he's made very adjustments as far as his swing in the offseason. Still looks really similar to how it looked last year. But yeah, James Outman and Jason Hayward, there's a lot of similarities in their game, but also a lot of differences. And one guy is the grizzled vet. You said house money Hayward, right? I mean, he's like the house money guy where if it pays off for the Dodgers, then great. I mean, the Cubs are paying him like $22+ million this season. And we know defensively he's a 5-time Gold Glove Award winner, but even at his very best, even if Jason Hayward figures things out, and he's even a slightly above big league bat. I mean, last year his bat was 39% below league average. Even if you get that to league average, I think that his ceiling isn't as high as Outman's can be. I think James Outman is the unknown. Sure. And as you said earlier, I mean, every time he's got an opportunity, he's had success. Even spring training last year, he played well. In his stint with the Dodgers, it was epic. Homered in his first at-bat. He was raking. He went back down to spring training, hit 2 cycles in 4 days. He was outstanding. Yeah. And then he put in all this work.
He worked around an injury with that, too.
Worked around an injury, yeah. And I think, I'm all in on Outman. I think he should be the starting outfielder for the Dodgers because, look, we've seen in the past when Corey Seager won MVP, when Cody Bellinger, when he won Rookie of the Year, when Cody Bellinger won Rookie of the Year, they were both high draft picks, right? Yep. James Outman, he was a 7th round pick in 2018. If he was this high draft pick that the Dodgers had a lot invested in, I think there'd be no question that he'd be getting the similar type of runway that Gavin Lux was getting at shortstop. But he does have those 2 options left, and that is a factor. But I think that if you bring him back down to AAA, what else does he have to prove?
He doesn't have to. He honestly has nothing left to prove. The only thing that's working against him, he has options. And this team loves stockpiling as many veterans as possible, as many players as possible. And that's the only way they're going to be able to keep Jason Hayward around. They're going to be able to keep Trayce Thompson on the roster. They're going to be able to keep David Peralta happy with his playing time and Mookie Betts playing some right, playing some second, whatever the hell Dave is going to decide to do as the season goes along. Baseball's just working against James Outman. At the same time, I also kind of agree. I will say I do feel he has earned the starting center field spot. On the other hand, I also understand and kind of agree with the idea that you have those options. No reason to keep him up kind of on the bench because they're not going to have him be the starting outfielder or starting center fielder, barring injury. Let him go out and get more at bats. Let him get his 4 at bats a game, so he can hit a few more, grand slams at AAA. Feel better, get the confidence and the mojo going when you get called back up, and hopefully you make it stay. We've seen this team. You're talking about the lower draft pick. I mean, I forgot what Matt Kemp was, but he had to kind of play his way onto that roster in 06 by having a good 05 with the Jacksonville Five Suns over there.
Nice pull.
He absolutely has the opportunity to play. I think the more we've heard Dave talk about him, the more he's bullish on the kid. Yeah. And again, this is going to be a great opportunity for James Outman with Mookie gone, with Trayce Thompson gone. To me, Trayce Thompson is the most odd man out right now because he's not looking better. Like you said, the swing looks the same. And as Noah was yelling around earlier this afternoon, he's got to hit lefties to have a reason to be on this roster, hands down. So I don't know how much longer we're going to see Trayce Thompson. I already said earlier this offseason, like if he makes it through April, that'd be a surprise. But James Outman needs to get in there.
I think at this point, too, something else that I would keep my eye on is that, look, when Jason Hayward, he's basically accomplished so many things in this game, right? Who would it benefit more at the start of the season? To make Jason Hayward the starting center fielder or to have James Outman, who has raked all through spring training, who has all this momentum, only to kind of stun his growth to send him right back down? Look, there is no – look, I mean, you can't you can't, there's no replacement for, you can't coach experience, right? He needs experience. He needs opportunities against lefties, against breaking balls at the big league level. And the reality is he's never going to take the next step in his development until he gets 50 to 100 at bats, until he's getting consistent playing time. Because look, maybe he does emerge and vie for the rookie of the year. I mean, there is a world where he continues the success. I mean, if you look at his athleticism, if you look at the way the game is,
a lot of football.
Played a lot of football, 98 tackles for Sarah High School, number 34. And yeah, I just think that James Outman has proved everything. And he, like I said, look, Tom Brady from his same high school, he was a 6th round pick. James Outman, a 7th round pick. He has that chip on his shoulder to go out there and prove that he can go out there and get the job done. And I think, too, that if you keep him at the big league level, and we know Jason Hayward, who in my opinion is a lot to make this opening day roster, he can learn from him. He can learn how to be a big leaguer and really take advantage of that mentorship, just like Vargas is with Rojas from shortstop to second base. So I think that I just like him as my opening day center fielder as of right now.
Yeah, shrewd moves with them veteran additions. What do you got, Cody?
Did we just get a? Did you just compare James Outman to the greatest football player of all time? Are you saying that James Outman is the Tom Brady of baseball?
I am. No,
Whoa!
no. I'm saying that he has a chip on his shoulder because they went to the same high school, Sarah High School. He was drafted in the 7th round. Brady, I think, with the number, was it 88th pick of the 6th round, off the top of my head, something like that. I just think that he's a guy that, look, he's closer to, he's going to turn 26 in May. He'll be closer to 30 than he is to 20. He's not your traditional prospect that we've seen, the Seagers, the Bellies, the Luxes, the Will
he's
Smith,
closer
the
to like a
Buehlers.
Michael Kadire type of dude. He is the guy who Casey Blake, guys who cut their teeth, as they say, at the minor league level, and they just need that opportunity. And he's a dude who needs an opportunity, but season is a very long time. And yeah, confidence-wise, you cannot deny the fact that being not only on the opening day roster, but maybe even the opening day center fielder, that would be a massive confidence boost. But also it could work to his detriment in some ways. You know, if he's, Gavin Lux probably would struggle if he was in the same situation. It's a different mental stability type of thing. And younger Lux admittedly struggled with some things. Outman's older, wiser. I think he can handle being sent back down. But it's a bad look on the team in some ways. I don't know. I'm just talking in circles here.
No, I mean,
the reality is I know this team is not going to have him on the opening day roster again, barring injury. I'm gonna throw in that Dave Roberts qualifier.
Yeah, you got to have the qualifier in there. It's important.
Guarantee he will not be on, provided everybody stays healthy.
But yeah, I mean, just like Tom Brady's balls were deflated, it'd be very deflating for James Outman to be sent down after everything he's accomplished. And look, let's see. Can we see if this guy can consistently play? I think he has a chance to. But look, the Dodgers, it's a good problem to have, the fact that Outman and Jason Hayward have gotten off to good starts. And hopefully Trayce Thompson can find a way to kind of get that swing back on track. But yeah, I'm very high on James Outman, as you can see. And I think that, I don't want to see James out.
Because you talked to his dad.
His dad's really cool.
Really nice guy.
That family from Backstage Dodgers, right? Those famous people. But I'm telling you, man, I'm a believer in Rocket too. I think Rocket has powers.
Rocka, Flocka, Rock.
Hey, people want to see a James Outman Rocket giveaway, a Rocket bobblehead night.
Oh, hell yes. Think of the giveaway power this team is throwing away. They don't have him on opening day roster.
James Outman can be the rock for this Dodgers outfield. I'm just saying. I am just saying. But yeah, I mean, kind of getting back to your thoughts on Trayce Thompson, we spoke to him as well, and I told Trayce, I was like, hey, what does it mean for Dave Roberts to really have your back, and saying that those reverse splits were really an outlier, and he kind of jumped the gun and said, look, I can hit. I know I can hit righties and
those
lefties.
Questions a lot already, yeah.
Yeah, he's answered those questions a lot, but you can tell, though. I mean, you can tell just it's in the back of his mind as far as early on. And kind of my question to you, asking about this outfield picture, is do you think the hot starts of Outman and Hayward could maybe make Trayce just press a little bit?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a guy who's been through so much in his career, fought, battled, scratched, clawed, somehow found his way back on a team that had him before, got rid of him because of the injury and the ineffectiveness, came back. Andrew Freeman admitted, late last season, we did not expect him. We figured he was going to be like a 3-week guy and then we'd send him out, but he kind of played his way into it. But yeah, the magic of that season was last season. You see these guys who are gunning for your job. You know Chris Taylor is a lock. You know David Peralta at $6 million, $6.5 million is a lock. You kind of feel like Mookie Betts is a lock in the outfield. Where do you play? And now, another one of the things at Noah Cameras pointed out, they don't need another right-handed bat. Unless he can absolutely destroy left-handed pitching, they don't need another right-handed bat. They have a righty starter. Whoever's starting at shortstop is now a right-handed batter. So having another righty in the outfield, I don't know. But there's also a lot of left-handed options in the outfield if you're talking Peralta and Outman and Hayward. But
my counterpoint to that is, what if Chris Taylor doesn't find it at the plate? What if he continues to struggle?
$16 million. He's going to play.
He is going to play, but I mean, at some point, yeah, I mean, he's going to probably play 20% at short.
He's got to find a little more El Bencho if he's not hitting for sure. Yeah. I mean,
Trayce Thompson, 13 home runs, did hit for power.
Trayce Thompson's going to get at bare minimum a month to figure it out, depending on what the team's looking like, what the health status is looking like, how far behind or ahead of any other teams. He's gonna get some runway, but I don't think it's gonna be like you mentioned earlier. I don't think it's gonna be Gavin Lux type runway for Trayce Thompson this year because
So by June,
dude's a little older.
So I have a question. By June, will Thompson be on the Dodgers, or will the Dodgers be without a Trayce?
Well, I'm already pretty firm in saying I don't think he makes it through like past April.
Really?
That's my
The
earlier.
feel-good story of the year
that was
last
like 2
year.
months ago. I had that hot take. I like the kid.
Fire take. Yeah.
Double up on that. Thank you. Interesting choice.
No, I was trying to. I muted the sound thing, and then when he said the without a trace, I clicked it. I clicked the rim, and then it was like, what the? So my apologies.
Hey, buttons are hard.
But kind of my last point on the whole center field battle is what I say when Cody Bellinger got non-tendered. I said that, hey, James Outman has the potential to provide better production at over $17 million less than what they could have given Cody Bellinger. So I think Cody Bellinger, remember that guy? The guy on the Cubs?
He's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy I only see when he does something.
I will remember.
I only know when I only know that he breaks the algorithm, so we got to post about him on social media. But
Hey, shout out to Cody Bellinger for hitting that digger.
What you know about facts? What you know about Cody Rip?
Got to play the hits.
Anyways, I distracted you.
No, I mean, I think what it comes down to is kind of the point I'm trying to make is that Cody Bellinger set the bar so low offensively that if they're getting defensively what they're after and really him and guys, hey, we know Hayward and Outman can play the position defensively. It's just a matter of taking the risk of who of those two guys they think they can get more offensively out of. And I think James Outman, if you look at his swing, he's got that quick twitch muscle that Jason Hayward, I think, he's going to be better this year, but I just like look, if you have a lottery ticket, you got to scratch off. If you don't scratch it off, it's pointless. I mean, you have to see what you have in James Outman. I truly believe that he has what it takes to have an impact. And also, too, let's just be honest. When Dodger fans kind of pick their guys and they kind of will them, there's this mythical quality to James Outman, the legend of James Outman and Rocca.
Does it get too far, though? Because we've also seen, like, the John Eli era.
The John, man, you're pulling him out today.
Eli Mania. Anybody remember DJ Holton? That was a thing that we experienced.
Wow.
Knuckleballer, I think.
Those were good times, but
Justin Sellers, anyone?
I mean, half the fan base thinks Kike Hernandez is a future Hall of Famer. So.
Luis Cruz, anyone?
Yeah. I mean,
Oscar Robles, anybody?
Yeah, you start to feel good about some of these guys, and yeah, I mean, I don't think it influences the roster makeup or anything like that, but I do think it helps to have the support of the fan base. I mean, last year, you look at Zach McKinstry. I mean, Zach McKinstry, a lot of people felt like he was going to come on, step on the scene, and have success, and he wasn't able to fill that role. So
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He's with your Cubs.
For what it's worth, we asked the fine fans on our Dodgers Nation Twitter, go follow us there if you're not already. It's a great place to keep up with the game if you can't watch it live. 96% of people believe and want to see James Outman. Believe he should be and want to see James Outman in the starting, not in the starting outfield at least, but at least on the opening day roster. Overwhelming support. This was more than 3,000. Last I looked, it's probably like 3,300 votes right now on the poll on Twitter. The full
and you know
full
that
facts
Freeman
there.
checks that. For sure.
I mean, he buys our merch. We've seen it, so just saying.
And apparently he told someone that he likes our stuff. Yeah, there you go. Freeman watches the show. Fan of the show. Andrew Freeman, please come on the show. One of my dream guests.
Yeah, we don't even want to talk Dodgers with him. I just want to talk like about Like, when do you decide to switch from the Q-zip to the flannel?
Thank you.
Because
The one thing about spring training that me and Noah were talking about was, dude, I need to talk to Friedman and Gomes because I need their outfits.
Yeah.
They have the Q-zips, and then they have like the vest
Q-zip
on
game's
point.
strong.
It's truly,
Yeah.
truly
You got the shades
immaculate.
on. Yeah, we actually have the same phone case, me and Friedman, so we're brothers. Yeah. I felt like a sellout wearing the Q-zip,
Tight.
by the
Just
way.
like-
I felt like a sellout.
You
with
wore
the,
a Q-zip
I had the
out there?
Q-zip. I
How
felt like a
did I miss
sellout.
that?
He wore a Q-zip, but he ain't a Q. You could tell he's not about that Q-zip
No,
I
life.
like zipped it all the way up and I was choking. I
It
was
hides the
choking.
gun show. You know?
Yeah, I gotta stay warm out there. It was either a Q-zip or a down or a down jacket. It looks like I'm going on a rescue mission in Alaska or something.
All right.
But we're getting off the rails here. But here we got some comments
you
here.
guys really had to see Doug's going out jacket in Arizona. It was great. He had this big old puffy coat.
I don't
and
mess
he
with
would
the
put
cold.
it on like whenever he needed to go outside and pee. It felt like he was puppy Doug.
It was like George Costanza's
great time.
jacket. Yeah,
This is a really terrible show for
I
some
was
people and
telling-
phenomenal for others.
I was telling Gene that Clint's like, whenever I put on that jacket, it's like a dog pawing at the door because
Yeah,
he
it
wants
was
to go
like-
out.
yeah, it was, one of my
But,
favorite points of that nightmare. It was a good time. It was a good time.
We got some
A
Outman.
lot of great comments.
Michael Carrillo says Outman is destined for greatness. Teresa over on YouTube says love Outman and Hayward to be starters. We got Carnivorous Lunar Activity says give Outman the chance for a Rookie of the Year run. We got Hayward has surprised me too with his swing. So yeah, I mean a lot of people are very high and encouraged by the early returns on Outman and Hayward, but I will remind you that it's still a long ways to go.